How many games will the Cincinnati Bengals win in 2026? What's going on, Bengals fans? It's your boy Man Jones here, back with another NFL record prediction. And this time we'll be doing an NFL record prediction for the Cincinnati Bengals for a 2026 NFL season. I'm going to give you my game-by-game analysis and my game-by-game thoughts, see which games I think the Bengals will win and which games I think the Bengals will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the Cincinnati Bengals for a 2026 NFL season, don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel more often, and comment down your opinion below to see how far you think the Bengals will go. Do you think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs again? Do you think they're going to win the division? Or do you think they're going to go out and miss out on the playoffs again? Just let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. Week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, this is a game right here that can go either way. I know most people are on the Buccaneers and all that, but I think the Bengals are going to get their first win of the season. I know because I think the Bengals aren't going to week 1, but I'm giving the Bengals a win here just because I think Tampa Bay is going to take a step back this year because Tampa Bay doesn't really have – their offense may not be the same without Mike Evans. Their offensive line is okay, but nothing special. But their defense isn't good. Like, they pretty much got a weaker defense because, I mean, they can stop the run, but they can't stop the pass. And the Bucs like to play a lot of man coverage as well. And when they play a lot of man coverage against the Bengals, I think that opens things up for Joe Burrow. So I feel like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will be a problem, especially without Jamel Dean. And I think their offense will make more plays here. And I think their defense, with their much improved defensive line, adding multiple key players in there, it's going to make more plays, especially against a Bucs offense that hasn't been really good. I think they'll do a good job stopping the run. And I think they'll do a good job, like defending the pass as well, especially against an underwhelming receiving core of the Bucs. So, yeah. And I think the Bengals offense will make more plays as well. They'll find a way to control the game, keep Baker off the field, which I put in position for the Bengals to win this game. But I think it's going to be high scoring, though. But I think the Bengals are going to find a way to win this game because I think the Bengals are just a much more complete team and have the better quarterback as well. And they're at home. So, yeah. So I think the Bengals win this game. Week 2 against the Houston Texans. I actually got the Texans winning this game because the Texans do have a great defense as well. They have a great pass rush, a great secondary that can really give your offense problems. I mean, their offense may not be as good, but I feel like there's a chance since he wins this game that their offense can at least get past the Texans defense, and if the Bengals defense can make some plays against the Texans offense, it's not great. But I think the Texans defense is going to win the game by making them more plays because they have good corners that can really match up against your receivers. They have a great pass rush to get after Joe Burrow and all that. So, yeah, and especially playing in Houston at home is tough. So I think the Texans win that game here. Week 3 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually think you're going to split with them. So I'm going to say you lose to the Steelers on the road just because, playing in Pittsburgh is a tough environment. I mean, they have a great defense as well. But their defense is okay, but they got some players, but they're getting old in some key positions. I mean, they did improve at wide receiver, adding Pittman, and they added Rico Dowell to the running back room to at least upgrade it. So, yeah. So, I think this game, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good game. I think DK and Pittman can have a good game. Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth can have a good game as well. So, I think the Steelers can win that game. And I think their defense can totally make more plays too because they gave the Bengals offense a lot of problems in the past, and Pittsburgh pretty much got their number. So I think the Steelers win this game here at home. Then week 4 against the Jacksonville Jags. Actually, I think the Bengals are going to beat the Jags at home because I think the Bengals are just a much more complete team, and they got the better quarterback and they're at home. And I just really think that, I just have a feeling that Jacksonville, are just going to take a step back this year. I mean, their receiving core is okay, but their run game may not be the same without Travis Etienne. Their O-line is kind of mid. Their D line is okay, especially their D line. They can stop the run, but their secondary is very suspect though. So I don't think Jacksonville really has the corners to man up against the Bengals receivers. So I think the Jags defense is totally going to get lit up. So I think Jamar Chase, T. Higgins have another good game. I think Burrow's going to dice them up. So yeah, I think the Bengals win this game here. And even they totally and actually this is a game where Joe Burrow did get hurt last year. But anyway, the Bengals did one without him. So yeah, I think the Bengals find a way to win this game. Then week 5 against the Miami Dolphins. I think they beat the Dolphins here. Because I feel like the Dolphins are going to be, even though the game's in Miami, I feel like Miami is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They don't. I mean, they don't. They're already in rebuilding mode. I mean, they lost several key players like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller. Their O line may not be the same. I mean, their defense lost some pieces like Bradley Chubb and Mika Fitzpatrick. So they did lose some pieces on defense. So I think the Bengals offense is going to put us some points up on the board. I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is going to be a problem. And I think Joe Burrow is going to dice them up. And I think the Bengals' much improved defensive line is going to make more plays here. Because I don't think Malik Willis is anything special. I don't think he's any good. And I don't think the Dolphins really have the weapons on offense to at least threaten the aspects of the Bengals' defense, which is their secondary. So I think the Bengals' defense will make more plays, and I think their offense will make more plays, which is why I have the Bengals win this game. And then they get a bye week. Then after the bye week, they get a bye week 6, and after the bye week, they play against the Baltimore Ravens. I actually think they're going to split the Ravens. So I'm going to say they lose the first game in Baltimore because playing in Baltimore is tricky. And Baltimore pretty much have got their number. And I think, the Ravens, I think they can do a good job offensively, moving the ball, controlling the clock, and all that. And I think I feel like the Ravens are going to be better this year, especially on defense, where they're much improved, adding Trey Hendrickson and Calais Campbell. This is going to be the Trey Henderson revenge game. And I think they really have good corners in the secondary that can really man up against the Bengals receiving core. So, yeah, so I think the Ravens are going to find a way to I think they're going to find a way to win this game here. So yeah, so I'm going with the Ravens here. Then week 8 against the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, I think they're going to beat the Titans. I mean, the Titans are a disaster. I mean, Cam Ward is not good. They have a new coaching staff, Robert Saleh. The offensive line is no good. The defense it's pretty solid, but it's not anything special. Um, their their secondary is very suspect. So I think Joe Burrow can do enough to dice up the Titans secondary up because Jamar Chase, T. Higgins will have a day. And I feel like they can run the ball a little bit on Tennessee. And their defensive line can find a way to at least get after Cam Ward made difficult on him. And I think they'll do a good job stopping the run because the Titans' weakness is their run game. And I think, the Bengals, I feel like their pass defense can do enough to defend the pass as well. So yeah, so I think the Bengals win this game because they're a much more complete team, have the better quarterback, and they're at home. So yeah, that's pretty much why. Then week 9, they got to play against the Atlanta Falcons. Um, um, I think the bang this game right here. Um, I don't even know what they call it though, but this game is in Madrid. So yeah, so basically, I think this game right here can definitely go either way. I mean, I can totally see Atlanta win this game, but I lean Cincy to win, Natty Bengals to win this game because I just really think that the Bengals are just a much more complete team and have the better quarterback. And I just don't really know if the Falcons Like the Falcons, like I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be Tua turn the ball, or is it going to be Michael Penix? I don't really know. I mean, they got some good weapons on offense, like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson, and their O line is fine, but their defense is up and down, is okay, but it's nothing special. And I just don't really know if the Falcons really have the defense to cover the Bengals. So I think that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will have a day here, and I think Joe Burrow is going to dice them up. So yeah, so as long as you contain Bijan Robinson, you should be fine. So yeah, so I think the Bengals win this game on the road easily, especially as a home game for Atlanta. But I think Cincinnati wins the game because they have the better quarterback and they're a much more complete team. But I wouldn't be shocked if Atlanta won though. And I wouldn't rule them out. But I think Cincinnati is going to find a way to pull one off. Then week 10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually think they beat the Steelers here to split the season series, especially at home on a Sunday night. I think the Bengals are just a much more complete team. I think they're going to be a better team than the Steelers because I think the Steelers are taking a step back this year because I feel like the Steelers, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year because Aaron Rodgers is getting older and their defense is getting old and it may not be the same like they used to be. And Cincinnati's trying to fight for a playoff spot too. So I think Cincinnati is going to have more to play for. So, and especially the Bengals do have the better quarterback and they're at home and they have better offense as well. So I think that's why I think the Bengals will win. Then week 11 against the Washington Commanders on a Monday night in prime time. um, I think this is a game I think Cincinnati can win, but I kind of remember a few years ago on a primetime game, the game was in Cincinnati, and Washington did go on the road and beat them. That's where the Commanders' offense was flying high, and they were playing really good. And this was a shootout. So I feel like with Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow playing against each other, I feel like that could be a show. But if Jaden Daniels is healthy, I might take the Commanders, but if he's not, I'll take the Bengals. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Washington to win because I feel like Washington pretty much has like the offense to at least like get past the Bengals defense. But Washington defense may not be good. It may not believe it's gonna be good like they hope it would be. But I think that Commanders defense, as long as they don't really give up big plays to Joe Burrow, they should be fine. And I think I kind of really think that Terry McLaurin can have a good game here as well. So yeah, I think they can do a good job controlling the clock, keep Burrow off the sideline, which that could allow Washington to win this game. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Cincinnati won, but I think Washington is going to have the edge here. Then week 12 against the New Orleans Saints, I think they bounce back and beat the Saints because I feel like the Saints, I don't think they're going to be anything special, but I think they could be better this year. I mean, their defense is like top 10 last year throughout the end of the season. But they do lost some key players like Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis. Their O line is mediocre, not anything special. I think the Bengals D line can totally take advantage of that. And the Saints don't really have a great receiving core outside of Chris Olave, but thanks to Jordan Tyson. I mean, they did improve the receiving core, but I don't think the Saints are gonna have the offense to at least like threaten, like get past your defense. I think and Tyler Shuck is okay, but I don't think he's anything special. I think their defense is gonna. I think Cincinnati's defense can make more plays, and I think they can at least force Tyler Shuck to beat you, which he won't. And the Bengals are the more complete team, and they're at home and have the better quarterback. So yeah, I think the Bengals find a way to win this game at home. Week 13 against Cleveland Browns. I think you're going to I think you're gonna split with the Browns this year because last year the Browns did beat you guys. You guys did beat the Browns on the road, then the Browns beat you in your building. So I'm gonna say you lose the first game against the Browns because playing in Cleveland is tough. Because I know the Browns' main defense may not be the same without Garrett, but they did replace him with Jared Verse, which that's fine. And I think their defense will have a day here at home. And then you played them in week 18 as well. So I think the Bengals will win this game here at home because I think Cincinnati is going to have more to play for because they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot this year. I think they're going to be back in the playoffs for the first time since 2022, while the Browns might be playing for nothing. And well, I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback. It's going to be Deshaun Watson, Shador Sanders, or Dylan Gabriel. Like, I don't know. I mean, Bengals are a more complete team and have the better quarterback. And also, Todd Monken has had success against the Bengals throughout the past, but I don't know if he really has the quarterback to function the offense. I mean, so I think the Bengals are going to win the second matchup. Week 14 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Cincinnati is going to beat the Chiefs because I think the Chiefs are probably going to take a step back this year because, they lost because I feel like the Chiefs, I don't know if Mahomes is going to be the same player as he used to be. I feel like the offensive line has regressed. I feel like the receiving core is outside of Kelsey isn't great. I mean, they're worried about Rashee Rice because that guy has been an absolute buffoon. Their defense is mediocre at best. Probably might decline if Chris Jones goes down since he's getting older. It may not be as good as it used to be. Their secondary lost several key players. They lost three of their best players. They lost Trent McDuffie. They lost Brian Cook, and they lost Jalen Watson. They lost three of their best players. Those are their three plus players in the secondary. But you got Brian Cook on your defense now, so this could be the Brian Cook revenge game. But the Chiefs did try to replace them with their draft picks, and they did try to replace them through free agents, but not with the same quality players. But I like the Kent Walker addition, but I just don't know if the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball effectively because I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball out of O-line. I think the Bengals defensive line makes more plays, and I think, their secondary can make more plays, which I think they could get sticky against an unwell receiving core of the Chiefs. And Burrow pretty much owns the Chiefs as well. And I think Burrow's a much more better quarterback than Mahomes. And I just think the Bengals are going to be a much more better team than the Chiefs. So, yeah, and they pretty much know how to play the Chiefs. So, yeah, so I feel like that, I don't think the Chiefs defense will have an answer for Jamar Chase or T. Higgins because I think those guys will have a good game here. So I think the Bengals are going to win those games there. I think the Bengals win that game here, but I would not be surprised if Kansas City goes on the road and beats them. I mean, I feel like that the only way the Chiefs win this game is to have their defense can hold up against Joe Burrow. But I think the Bengals defense will make more plays, which that will force Mahomes to beat you guys. So I think the Bengals win this game here. Then week 15 they play against Carolina Panthers. This is a tricky one, but I'm going to come back to that one. Then they play against the Colts week 16 on a Saturday. This is a tough one, but I'm going to come back to that one too. Those are tough games though. But week 17, they got to play against the Ravens on a Thursday short week. I think you're going to split with the Ravens. So I'm going to give the Bengals a win here because I think you're going to have more to play for because I think Cincinnati is going to be a team that could totally make the playoffs or they could barely miss it. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins pretty much owns their secondary. So, yeah, I think the Bengals are going to win that game for sure. So, basically, I got the Bengals at 10-5-2 with the last two games here. But I think between the Panthers and the Colts, I think they're going to lose one of these games. They're going to lose one, and I think they're going to win one. I don't think they're going to lose both. I don't think they're going to win both. But I think they're going to lose to one of these games, and I think they're going to win one of these games. So, yeah. But you know what? It's kind of tough because Carolina is interesting because they improved their defense through free agency, adding Phillips and Lloyd on there. Their secondary is decent. The offense may not be as good as yours. It's not as good as the Bengals, but they can run the ball. They can do some good stuff. And the Colts' game is kind of tricky, though. Like, they have a great coaching staff. They have a great offense. They have a great run game, but I don't think they're going to have a vertical passing game. And they have their defense may not be as good, but they have Sauce Gardner in there. I don't really know, but this is tough. I'm going to say they just lose to Carolina, and I'm going to say they just beat the Colts in Cincinnati because that's kind of tough. I think the reason why I think since he's going to lose to Carolina, because I think Carolina has proven they can beat good teams. And I feel like their defense is much more improved a little bit. And I think the Panthers defense is going to make more plays than the Colts. And I think that Bryce Young, I feel like Tintero McMillan is probably going to be a problem against your secondary. So, yeah, so I think Cincinnati is a better team, but I think Carolina is going to find a way to win this one as an upset. And then they play the Colts on Saturday, which I think Cincy's going to win that game because I think, the Bengals are a more complete team. They have a better quarterback. And I just really think that the Bengals offense is going to make more plays because I feel like the Colts defense, I feel like the Colts are going to decline. I mean, I just don't really think the Colts really have a great receiving core that can really like man up against your defense, against your secondary. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively against your improved D line. I think the Colts offense will be a lot more trouble in that game. And I think the Colts secondary is fine with Sauce Gardner, but they play a lot of man coverage. And I think Joe Burrow's really good at beat man coverage. So yeah, so they're gonna force like that's gonna like force Daniel Jones like to beat you guys and the Colts to beat you guys, which I don't think they're gonna do that though. Yeah, I know it's in Indy and all that, but I just think the Bengals are a better version of the Colts. I think they're a more complete team than the Colts and have a better quarterback. But I would not be shocked if Indy won. But I just think the Bengals are just a much more complete team than them. So yeah. So overall, I have the Bengals going 11-6, and I feel like it should be good enough to make the playoffs though. But as you all know, I have the Ravens winning the division now because I feel like they have a better defense, and I feel like they're just a much more better team than them. So yeah, but as you look at the Bengals schedule, I think it's pretty easy because they have to play the weakest division in football, which is the NFC South, which is the Panthers, who made the playoffs this year, then the Falcons, Bucks, and Saints. They play the Texans, they play the Jags, they play the Steelers twice, they play the Ravens twice. They play the Colts. Yeah, it's pretty much an easier schedule. So I think 11-6, 12-5, maybe 13-4 sounds about right. Or maybe 10-7. I think the Bengals can go somewhere from like 11 to like 13 wins this year. I think they can go from like 10 to like 12 wins this year. And maybe they go 13-4 at best as well, and maybe 9-8 at worst if the defense starts declining, if Joe Burrow missed a couple games. But I feel like as long as Burrow's healthy and the defense can get back playing at a high level, I think they'll be back in the playoffs. So, yeah, I feel like they will be back in the playoffs. I love the addition of Dexter Lawrence and the Boye Mafia and the Jonathan Allen addition. I like the Brian Cook and Kyle Duggar addition as well. But I think the Bengals defense will be in much better shape than it was last year. And I think their offense is still the same as well. So yeah, so just let me know in the comments section below if you think what you think about the Bengals and what's your prediction on them. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? Just let me know what you think in the comments section below. How good you think the Bengals will be and what your record prediction on them will be. This is me, I'm John, big fan. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and you can see more of my NFL record prediction videos through my playlist as well. Well, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.